Welcome back to We Need to Talk. This is, of course, the show that looks at football on the internet over the past 7 days. The 7 days that's seen Wayne Rooney admitting that he wants that Derby County job.
I've stated on Tuesday and on Saturday that, of course, I want to do this job full time. But we are where we are. We have to wait for all the paperwork to be sorted and then we see what happens from there.
Football fans finally being allowed back into UK stadiums. It's about time, Boris.
Loads of safety measures have been put in place, including social distancing markers, hand sanitizer stations and face masks. It's fair to say, despite all the waiting, the fans we spoke to were just delighted to be able to watch live football again.
And Eric Dyer calling Mikel Arteta the most exciting young manager in Europe. Julian Nagelsmann must be coaching basketball now.
I think they've got a very exciting young manager. I think maybe the most personally. I don't obviously not on the inside, but from what I see, I think the most exciting young manager in Europe for sure.
Anyway, today we're talking about the FC 100. That's right, today I'm trying something a little bit different, an article reaction video. Now, I'm genuinely really interested to see what you guys make of this video. Do you guys want to see me reacting to more things? Articles, lists, tweets, videos, whatever. I feel like that's something we potentially don't do an awful lot of on Football Daily and could do more of. So if you enjoy this video and want to see me do it more, hit the like button right now. 3,000 likes and I'll sort of know that you guys have really enjoyed it and want me to make more. Now today I'm reacting to the FC 100. If you don't know what the FC 100 is, basically it's the 100 best footballers in world football according to ESPN. They say our list is broken down into 10 top 10s for every position on the pitch, as well as managers. So, 10 best goalkeepers, 10 best right backs. They rank them from 10 to first, and that produces the 100 best footballers. So let's see what they're up to. Because this is the 5th year they've been doing it, and I have not read this article at all. Not a single word of it. So, as I'm reading it, you are too. Bear with me, because I'm probably going to get plenty of stats wrong, but I thought this sort of live reaction, it could produce a little bit more energy than if I've prepared what I'm going to say. So let's just crack straight into the goalkeepers. Alright, I'm seeing David De Gea at number 10. I think that's quite kind. I don't think he's been the 10th best goalkeeper in world football in 2020. He's kept an awful lot of clean sheets, but I'm not entirely convinced that's down to him. Okay, Handanovic 9, Donnarumma 8, Keylor Navas 7, Ederson is at 6, so the top 5 better be shot. Thibaut Courtois at 5, Ter Stegen at 4. I've just seen number 3. Jan Oblak, 3rd best goalkeeper in the world, is he at ESPN? Alisson 2, Manuel Neuer 1. I really hope this 100 list isn't going to be just based on trophies, because otherwise Bayern will have every single position covered, won't they? Manuel Neuer hasn't been the best goalkeeper in the world in 2020. He might have been the most successful, but doesn't make him the best. The best has been Jan Oblak. Doogie tweeted a great tweet the other day. A 93% save success rate this season he's got. Last season was just as good. Clean sheet machine. He's number 1. He's number 1. No arguments. Then maybe we put Neuer, Alisson, Ederson into the sort of conversation. Ter Stegen and Courtois might be involved too. But it's Jan Oblak. Damn it. Right backs then, let's have a look at this. Serginho Dest at 10. That feels brave. Feels very brave. Kieran Trippier at 9, okay. Ricardo Pereira is in at 8. Has he played a game? He's only got one leg in 2020, hasn't he? Obviously an unreal player. But I feel like he's just had an ACL injury the whole year. Alright. Hans Hateboer at 7. Definitely had a good season. Jesus Navas at 6, yeah. I probably wouldn't have had him there instinctively thinking about it, but obviously won the Europa League, very impressive with Sevilla, played nearly every minute of every game. Kyle Walker at 5. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any space for Aaron Wan-Bissaka then, which is a shame. I'm not like Kyle Walker at 5, fine. But if Dest is at 10 and Walker's at 5, there's got to be room for Aaron Wan-Bissaka in here somewhere. And he ain't going to be in this top 5, no way. Danny Carvajal at 4. Still, really? Hasn't he had a knee injury for most of this season? I don't know about that. Pavard at 3, fine, yeah. Achraf Hakimi at 2, I can get behind that one. You know, played most of the time as a wing-back though, really, in Borussia Dortmund's system and under Conte, but I guess they're kind of incorporating both of those into the same category. And then, yeah, Trent at 1, for me, 100%. What a player. Has to be the best right-back in the world, 2020. Centre-backs, then. This is going to be a tough category because there's one top 10 for 2 positions, if you get me. Marquinhos is at 10. I always butcher the pronunciation, so start commenting about that now. Last year he was apparently at 8. Wow. See, at 10, Marquinhos, I feel like he played quite a substantial amount of games as a defensive midfielder last year. Or last season, I should say. So, would I have him in here? I think Thiago Silva was a better centre-back for them last year. I've said it. Jules Koundé at 9, okay. De Ligt at 8, okay. Aymeric Laporte is at 7. There's not 6 better centre-backs in world football than Aymeric Laporte. No. And then I've seen Rafa Varane ahead of him at 6. Rafa Varane, when he doesn't have Sergio Ramos alongside him, looks like Chris Hamill at centre-back. He's all over the gaff. Obviously, was an amazingly talented player and still is, but there's something about his confidence and that's just gone. I wouldn't have him at 6. I would have Laporte above him. I'd have Laporte above Upamecano as well. I'm sorry. I think Upamecano has had a solid 2020, but has an awful lot of developing to go. And anybody that's watched more than 2 or 3 Leipzig games will be able to tell you he still needs to learn his craft an awful lot. Kalidou Koulibaly at 4, okay, of course, won the Coppa Italia. I think he finished 2nd, didn't he? So yeah, David Alaba at 3. Maybe a bit harsh. I would probably have David Alaba at 2, I think, for me. I think he was incredible for Bayern, playing as a centre-back. I suppose you could argue that he also came in as a left-back at times. So maybe that's the reason he's not quite there, but I would have him at 2. And then I'd have Sergio Ramos at 3. I think he is the 2nd most influential centre-back in the world, but I don't think he had the best 2020. So yeah, I would swap those 2 around. Then I would keep Van Dijk at number 1. 100%. Just, yeah, the man is absolute different gravy, isn't he? Fingers crossed he comes back from that injury fine. Moving down to left backs now. And but I haven't scrolled down too far yet. I've seen 10, admit to you. It's Furlon Mendy, okay? I do not want to see Marcelo in this list. I do not want to see him in the top 10 best left backs in the world for 2020 because he simply hasn't been. The decline in Marcelo has been mad. Yeah, he's at 9. Okay, Ben Chilwell's at 8. Theo Hernandez is at 7. Wouldn't have him above Ben Chilwell. Disagree with that one. They've written down here, high point of 2020, a crisp volleyed finish in a 3-2 win over Udinese in January. Sums it up. Sergi Reguilon at 6 feels harsh. Won the Europa League with Sevilla, was hot in Spain, come to Spurs, top of the table, been arguably the best left-back in the country since he arrived, alongside Ben Chilwell and Robbo. It's harsh. Guerrero at 5, I'd have them 2 flipped round 100%. Sandro at 4, maybe. And Jordi Alba at 3. Again, it feels like these guys are living off reputation. In a similar way of Marcelo, I wouldn't have Jordi Alba at 3. High point of 2020 for Jordi Alba. Whatever it wasn't Barca's 8-2 defeat to Bayern. So why is he at 3? Why is he at 3 if his highlight is an 8-2 defeat to Bayern? What? Alphonso Davies at 2, I would agree with that. His rise to superstardom is almost unparalleled, but Robbo has to be number 1, doesn't he? Just too consistent not to be. God, I would love Andy Robertson at Man United. I'm so jealous. But Alphonso Davies, yeah, too. Fair play. Moving to central midfield. This is going to be a difficult one, man, because there's so many different roles in centre mid. I don't know how they're classifying this as like DMs, box to box, like creative midfielders, what they're doing. But bear with me. They've got Marco Verratti at 10. Okay. Spent a lot of time out injured, but fine. Modric at 9. I suppose did win La Liga. Still incredibly influential for Zidane, but declining. Frankie de Jong at 8. Last year they had him ranked as the second best midfielder, so I'm guessing this position is slightly more deep lying, and they're going to have more attacking roles to come. 7 is Fabinho. So if Fabinho is at 7, there better be some hot names ahead of him. Jordan Henderson at 6, fine, I can just accept it. And Golo Kante at 5 though. He's been so injured through 2020. I wouldn't have him that high. I still think he's one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, but 2020 has not been Kante's year. Let's have it right. He's coming back to form now, but Jordan Henderson and Fabinho had better 2020s than Golo Kante. They just did. And Golo Kante is a better player, but didn't have as good a 2020. Casemiro at 4, Toni Kroos at 3. Okay, yeah. Thiago I would have at... I would have Thiago at 1 actually. I'm sorry, I would. I'd have Thiago at 1. I'd have Kimmich at 2. Thiago for me, the best deep line midfielder in the world by a mile. So yeah, I'd have him at 1. I'd have Kimmich at 2. And I think, can I just say, it's absolutely disgrace Fernandinho's not on it. Although he has been playing with like no groins, no hamstrings. So maybe it's down to injuries. Attacking midfield. Okay, so if they've got 1 defensive midfield slot, I'm guessing 2 of those players play there. 1 attacking midfielder. Jack Grealish is at 10. Now, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they define attacking midfielders as well, because some of these players are almost second strikers. Grealish is like a left winger, really, if we're all being honest. Carragher compared him to Eden Hazard on Monday Night Football. So, I wouldn't have him as an attacking mid, necessarily. Houssem Aouar at 9. 8. I'm getting up again. It's Pogba. How can Paul Pogba be the 8th best midfielder in 2020? No. Just not played enough. Incredibly technical, gifted player, but hasn't played enough. Has had no influence on this Manchester United team in 2020. Injured way too consistently for that. Even Bernardo Silva at 7. It's got me rattled. 2019, they had Bernardo Silva as the best attacking midfielder in the world, did they? So where was KDB last year? Did he play in golf? Kai Havertz at 6, fine. Goretzka at 5. I think Goretzka should be in the other category. More of a box-to-box player than, you know, if Grealish is in here as like a attacking mid, then Goretzka's not the same sort of player. Papu Gomez, okay. Bruno at 3. I'm just deflated at that. Just deflated. Thomas Muller should be number 1. He's number 2 here. I would have Thomas Muller number 1 because when Hansi Flick came in, his whole life changed. I don't know what happened to him, but just suddenly became superhuman again. I'd have Thomas Muller at 1, Bruno at 2. They'll obviously have KDB at 1, but I would have him at 3. Just didn't have quite as good a 2020 as previous year. Maybe that's a little bit harsh me doing that, but yeah, that would be my honest pick. Where would you have those 3? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to wing. Now, I'm guessing this is the first wing position. There's going to be 2 wing positions. But Vinicius Jr. is not the 10th best winger in the world, is he? Like, he is incredibly raw and incredibly talented, and Real Madrid really do have a gem on their hands there, but I want to see his numbers across the last season and a half, even. Has he even got 10 goals? 10 goals in 18 months? I'm not sure. Okay, so last season in La Liga, 3 goals, 1 assist. This season in La Liga, 2 goals. And I can bet you, I bet you, before I've even seen it, that somebody like Oyathabal's not going to be on this list. Because he's not a glamour name, is he? Had a better season than Vinicius Jr. Just, okay. That's actually wound me up. Eden Hazard at 9. Aren't they? Eden Hazard at 9. 2020 was probably the worst year of Eden Hazard's career since he left Lille. It really was. Injuries have plagued him. He's spent more time... I bet you he's missed more games injured than he scored goals in 2020. And they've put him in the top 10 wingers in the world. Mamma mia, as Bruno de Campo would say. All right, Kingsley Coman at 7. Shouldn't be below Christian Pulisic. Nope. Scored the winner in the Champions League final. Pulisic was superb turn of the year. Really, really improved under Lampard. But then this season, barely played because he's been injured. Even sort of early parts of this year, had injury problems. Coman should be above Pulisic. Di Maria at 5, fine, had a sick year. Sancho, sick year. Gnabry, yep. Raheem Sterling, I would have Raheem above Gnabry just because of his statistical output in terms of goals. And Sadio Mane too. You know, Sadio Mane, for me, is the best left winger in the world right now. Just racking my brains to think of that isn't a shocker of a statement. I'm sticking by it. Am I sticking by it? Yes, I'm locking that in. I would have Sadio Mane as 1 on my left wing slot. Forward is the next category. So does this include strikers? Josip Ilicic is on it, so I'm guessing it does include strikers. Best players in the game seem to have positions hard to define by their individual talents. Mixes of attacking midfielders, wingers and centre forwards. Okay. Bit of a grey area here. Ilicic at 10, fine. Rashford at 9. Great to see Rashford on this list. 17 goals, 8 assists in the Premier League, I think, for Manchester United. I think overall hit over 20 goals for the first time in his career. Still only 23, so really finding some for Paulo Dybala. Sneaks in ahead of him. I know he won Serie A's MVP, but Marcus, for me, I would have above Paulo Dybala based on 2020. I think Dybala is probably a better technical player, but Rashford 2020 was awesome. Son at 7. Do well to find 6 better players than Son. Do well. And one of them isn't Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in 2020. I'm sorry, it's not. I know he scored the winner in the FA Cup final against Chelsea, but from August to where we are now is August, September, October, November, December. So let's say 4 months. 4 months of this year. Down in the dirt. Yeah, not sure about that. Them 2 flipped. Mo Salah at 5. Neymar at 4. Who the hell are the 3 better than those 2? Ronaldo. I would have both Neymar and Salah ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm afraid. Yes, he's influential. Yes, he scored goals. But Neymar carrying them to a Champions League final at stage. Salah carrying Liverpool alongside Mane and Van Dijk really to a Premier League title. So I think I'd have both of those above Ronaldo. Mbappe at 2, I would agree with. And Messi has to be at 1. Okay, so that's the wingers dealt with. Even though like Ilicic and Ronaldo and Aubameyang are in there. ESPN, I don't know what they're doing here. All right, so now we're on to the out-and-out strikers. If this isn't Robert Lewandowski and Harry Kane, 1 and 2, I'm out of that window there. Raul Jimenez at 10. I'm not sure Raul Jimenez had a better year than Josip Ilicic, and he was at 10 in wingers. I don't really get how that makes sense. Bobby Firmino at 9. Oh, Christ. 2019 had him ranked 5th. I don't think 2020 has been a great year for Roberto Firmino. I really don't. He's so influential. We hear it, Liverpool fans. We get ya in build-up play. But I'm sorry. The goals. He's a striker. 2020. Top 10. I'm just saying phrases, but not for me. Timo Werner at 8. Struggling to find 7 better strikers than Timo Werner in 2020, by the way. Ciro Immobile. Sure. Obviously, 36 goals was it last year in Serie A in 37 league matches. So, fine, I'll put him up there. Aguero, though. I think Aguero's been too injured to be at 6 on this list. Fine. 5, Romney Lukaku, definitely up there. Scored so many Europa League goals last year, didn't he? And scored so many goals in Serie A. It's fine. No! Well, I'm out the window then, aren't I? Harry Kane's at 4! Who's the 3 strikers better than Harry Kane then? Karim Benzema, apparently. Apparently Karim Benzema, better than Kane. Haaland. Oh, Haaland's a good shout. Fair. All right, Haaland, goal-scoring machine, but I would have at 3, then Kane. Benzema being at 3 is a joke. Yeah, obviously Lewandowski at 1. Thank you, Lewandowski at 1. Had to be. Kane should have been 2. All right, then. I want to hear your reactions to some of these rankings. I'm sorry the video is a little bit longer than usual, but yeah, that was my reaction to ESPN's FC 100. Is there any articles you've read you want me to react to? Any tier lists you want me to watch and react to? Let me know in the comments below. As I said, if this video hits 3,000 likes, I know you enjoyed it, and I'll start making more reaction videos. Yeah. Pretty much it. Continental Club are talking about Zinedine Zidane, so go and watch that. It's Doogie and the boys. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.